Hi there, Vanessa, the Salty Knitter, and in today's episode, we're going to do your granny's knitting machine with some yarn your granny never dreamed of. So, when I say your granny never dreamed of this yarn, I mean, just look at that. It feels like rabbit fur. It is so soft. I have no idea how it's going to wash up. It will probably mat down like any yarn of this type would, but in the meantime, it feels pretty nice. So you can see it's a bulky. Um, so I have changed my stitch size to 7. Um, and yeah, let's cast on. It's fuzzy. My nose is stinging, so I'm pretty sure it's shedding fibers. But anyways, we're going to do an E-wrap cast on. And because you really cannot see, I need some tension on this yarn. Because you really can't see individual stitches very well, you want to be super careful. You don't accidentally catch your gate pegs or miss a needle or wrap to, any of those little things. So I apologize. I'm probably going to be a little sniffly. I was winding up my stash of old worsted weight yarn yesterday and working with this furry yarn has a bit of an effect as well. So I'm going to weight this work before I knit my first row, just to help it knit off that initial row. I forget if I mentioned it already, but I've also, if I had continued on with a worsted weight yarn for my slipper lining, I would have gone down to 18 stitches. But because I had to increase my stitch size for this yarn, I did do a quick gauge swatch. So I have gone down to 15 needles. So I've reduced my needles by 6 rather than 3 for my lining. Okay, so I've got some tension on there. And this first row will be a little bit hard because of the weights and whatnot, but well, it will be when I set the Russell levers to knit. Ooh, come on. Oh! Well, now. That one was tough. Okay, so that's my first row knit. I'm just gonna check this. Yep, my end needle knitted on both sides. Okay, so let's do the 24 rows? Yes, 24 rows for the ankle. I'm not worried about going fast for this. I'm worried about making sure everything knits correctly. I mean, could you even imagine trying to fix a dropped stitch on this yarn? I can't. I think you would end up just having to drop the entire work and start over if you dropped a stitch. So this yarn, it's kind of like a tricot backing that the fibers are in. So it's not especially yarn-like. Anyways, So once you get going, it does knit just fine. Like it's not, you know, like I'm struggling with my carriage passes. Okay, so there's my 24 rows. I believe this machine is going to need a very thorough cleaning after this is done, but let's start short rowing our heel. So we're going to bring the needle closest to the carriage out into hold, so we auto wrap. And I have my Russell levers set to not knit needles in hold. Okay, bring our needle out. Oh, I just unknitted that. Wow, the fuzz. Okay, that one is still knitted. Give the latch a little bit of help. Okay. So that needle goes into hold. I'm going to adjust my weights. Not going especially fast. I'm more concerned with the machine knitting correctly than with speed. Okay, so we're down to 5 needles left in work, so now it's time to start bringing our needles back. So we manually wrap that first one, theoretically, so that we don't get a hole. But like I've said before, in reality, we just make a smaller hole. We fill it with some yarn. On the plus side, with all this fuzz, I don't think you're going to see any holes that may be left. So 2 needles opposite the carriage into upper working position, and then we knit. Okay, we bring one of those back into hold, so we get the auto wrap. And then we put those 2 back into upper working position. And we just keep going like that. Adjust our weights, my weights. And so that one will auto wrap, put these 2 back into work. Pull out for the auto wrap. I'm on the brink of a sneeze. Okay, so this one back out, so you get an auto wrap. Okay, last auto wrap on that side. And let's it's definitely formed a cup shape for the heel. Okay, those 2 back upper work. Okay, we'll get that needle on our next pass. To put my row counter back to 0 because now I want 36 rows before I start shaping my toe. Now that I'm up out of the heel, I want to rehang my weights so that it's distributed evenly. Okay. Excuse me. So there's our 36 rows. Just kind of want to compare. Seems a bit longer than, anyway. Oh, the fluff. My nose. Okay, let's start short rowing our toe. So I think I definitely want to add a marker for this one. I think it will be even more helpful. Okay. It's going to be more of a general vicinity than, but anyways, okay. And then this one will come out into hold, so well, maybe after the carriage is passed. No? Oh yeah. This is gonna be fun when it's time to do our sew as you go. Okay. So now I've got stitch markers. I'm going to reposition my weights. going to be another gorgeous day outside. I should probably be out there doing yard work, but I should also be working on my income taxes. Just ran over my thumb with the carriage. Didn't even know that was possible. Okay, so we're down to 5 needles left. It's time to start bringing them back into work. Okay, so let's start bringing these needles back into work. We're going to manually wrap the first one. Put the 2 across from the carriage into upper working position. I did pause for a minute, so I need to check my time. Okay. Bring this one back out. Upper working position. Ooh, that was tight. Did it knit through all the way? Yeah, it did. Okay, so that one can come back out. I'm going to reposition my weights a little bit. Okay, 2 in the upper working. Ooh. It's the only problem with having 2 machines on the same table is stuff kind of gets in the way. Okay. Did this one knit through? It did not. It's very subtle with this yarn when a stitch doesn't knit through, but you can just barely see it. Okay, so now that's knitted through. Bring it back for the auto wrap. So I forgot to put 2 needles in the upper working position. So I'm going to show you just a little trick. So I'm going to bring these needles in the hold. Okay. I'm going to change my Russell levers. Oh, no, I'm not going to change them. I don't want to knit stitches and hold. And I can bring my carriage back to where I messed up. Okay? So you can see there's the yarn there, and these two should have been knitted. Okay? So now they are. And I want this one to come back into hold for the auto wrap. And I should have kind of kept track of how many. So I think this part of our heel was already knitted. So we'll bring, if we bring 2 back into hold, these 2, then I knit across, and then we have 2. Okay, I think, you know what? No, let's just bring that many, and I think that puts us back on track. Okay. So then this one back into hold, these 2 to upper working position. It's a lot easier on yarn where you can see the stitches better. But it's a way to avoid having to unknit your rows. Trying to get the claw weight to go through. Okay. So we brought 1 back in the hole for auto wrap, 2 into upper working, knit across, I think I might have messed up a little bit because I should have, well, maybe not. Let's see. Maybe. See, this needle should have been on this side, but that's okay. I think all the fur will hide any holes that I've created. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of tuck a weight. Maybe not. Okay, I think I'm going to wait from the weight, put the weight on from the back. Wait. It's like, which weight? Okay, and the same on this side, for the moment anyway. Okay. And this side. Okay. Now, the fun stuff. I have to find my stitch. I don't even know if this is possible. Well, that feels like a stitch. you know what? Yeah, you can do it, but it's kind of strictly by feel. Question is, when I finish the first one, am I going to be willing to still do a second one? I don't think this is going to work. It's not that I can't find the loop of the stitch. It's that I don't think I can be confident I picked up the right stitch. Like, you can feel the stitch. It's just, you can't visualize it. You can't be sure you're not picking up the one that you just already knitted. These weights up. See, I feel like I've already gone crooked. If by chance it works, what I'm doing is I'm feeling, and I can feel like the knot, and then I can feel the loop. Or actually, I can feel a knot kind of like a double loop, not the loop. One thing about it, if I don't like the end result, I can unravel it and it will make a really nice blanket edge. I think I'm going to finish sooner on this side than on this side. It's going to be cockeyed. Much sooner. Well, I don't know if this will fix the problem, but let's see if I can straighten this out just a bit. No, I made a loop. I'm going to call it, this is a failed experiment. Although I am curious if it fits. Not too bad. A little short. Pretty thick. I don't think I would wear this if it did work. That would be like a majorly sweaty foot sock. Oh, and there is a knot right there. That is the second knot in this ball of yarn. 2. There was one right at the beginning that I cut off, and now there's one right in the middle. Now that is disappointing. I hate that. Anyway, failed experiment. I will knit the lining for those 2 outer socks out of something else.